What's up, interweb slingers? It's me, High Technology, and welcome back to the Injustice League. Now, this one is well. First of all, let me say this. I'm sorry for the 2-week gap. Since I last released the episode for this, I've been really busy. It's been a crazy week. My birthday was just the other day. It was on the 6th, if you guys are asking. So it was my birthday, and then I had all this crazy, new job stuff that I had to take care of, and doing an application, and I'm getting ready to go to Las Vegas and Evo and stuff, and people been wanting to hang out and do all kinds of stuff with me and celebrate. So it's just been really hectic. I've been trying to throw in videos when I can. These videos usually take more time than the other ones, so that's why I threw out an Injustice online stuff. It's pretty easy to just put that together for you guys. But this may or may not be the last video I put out before Dallas and I go to Evo, which is later. It's next weekend. So woo! But first time in Vegas, big tournament. It's the world stage, you know what I'm saying? I'm just super excited to be there, meet all the players and stuff that I've been watching for years. So anyways, today is gonna be off the top of the head a little bit. So we're gonna talk about characters and which character. We're gonna talk about the character archetypes there are, so the types of characters, and how to go about picking a character or the character that works for you. And you're probably thinking well, that sounds stupid, but practice. And I'll show you guys what's up. It's gonna be more discussion based today, not too much demonstration, maybe a little bit, but so no face cam. But anyways, now we're gonna stick to NetherRealm games because fighting games have all kinds of these crazy archetypes of characters that kind of exist within the games. But we're gonna stick to NetherRealm games. So in this case, it's Injustice 2, and this stuff kind of applies to Mortal Kombat and stuff like that as well. But like I said, Injustice 2 only. So you'll see this big old cast of characters here, and you're probably thinking, well, that's stupid. Why can't I just go and just pick the character? I really like Superman, so why can't I just pick Superman? Because Superman may not work for you. What does that even mean? What does that mean? He doesn't work for you. What I mean by that, I keep burping. That's why I take pauses. That's why I'm pausing. I'm sorry. So, what I mean by that is, let me, I think I'll use, okay, yeah. I liked Deathstroke in the first game, right? In the first Injustice game, I liked Deathstroke. And before I played the game, I didn't know who he was. So all I did was I was just oh, who's Deathstroke? Let me try him out. I played with him for a bit, and I really liked his style. It just fit me. His moves were cool. His movement was working for me. His combos and stuff, it was definitely working for me. Now, when I found out that Deathstroke wasn't in this game, and then I found out they replaced essentially, because the zoning guy in the first game was Deathstroke for the most part. He had the guns and stuff that really pissed everybody off and kept everybody full screen. It was really spammy. So then I found out they were putting Deadshot in here. So you see Deadshot here, and I was cool. Let me pick Deadshot. And I picked Deadshot. And I was yeah, he has all the zoning stuff, the guns, and all the different angles you can shoot him at, and all these cool abilities. And I thought he would be pretty similar, and a lot of people thought this too, that he would be really similar to Deathstroke, but he was not, dude, because his zoning stuff is cool, but when it got up close, I really like to fight up close. That's my thing. He didn't have a lot of really cool looking or good feeling mix-ups and strings, and I just felt he could get really beat up close against somebody who was an up close fighter. You know what I mean? Deathstroke had the best of both worlds. He was really good because he can fight really good up close, and he can fight really good from far away. Deadshot, he can be okay up close if you get him in the corner or something, but I mean, mid-screen and all that, if you see, he only has one or two good mix-ups, and that's it, man. So that was an example of I was yeah, let me pick Deadshot. He's gonna be sweet. He just didn't work for me, man. He looked cool as hell. I wanted to really like him, but I just can't get to liking him. So let's get right into it. That was the example to open up the types of characters. Now, yeah, you can go in the character select screen and just pick a character that you like. Say, oh, You know, I did the same thing where I was like, oh, I like Superman. I just watched Man of Steel, and I was like, oh, I want to play Superman. And Superman ended up working for me. I really like Superman. He has a lot of good mix-up and stuff like that. A lot of cool moves that, you know, just work for me. And I really like Superman. So that did work for me. So sometimes you can pick the character and you get lucky and it end up working for you. Other times they may not be what you expected at first, but you like them so much, so you'll just compromise. You'll put in the work to be good with them. But the number one thing is you want to have fun. You want to have fun with the characters that you pick. That is the first thing that should, you know, come into play when you're picking a character. So to do that, you're gonna obviously have to explore. My first recommendation is playing the single player campaign, the story mode. It lets you play with a couple of the characters. It's mostly the good characters like Green Lantern. You could play as Superman, Batman, I believe the Flash and stuff like that. You don't get to play as like the villains and stuff, so you don't get to really play as like Deadshot or Captain Cold or Scarecrow or Bane or anything like that. So these guys you'll have to do on your own, whether you play versus or the single player or just take them in a training mode. But the first thing you have to do is just, I mean, look for a character that you think looks cool, or you know, you saw a demonstration of them. You know, when you're playing versus or single player or something, you're like, oh, that character looks cool, so just go ahead and pick him, man. So like Bane, you know, Bane looks really cool to me. I want to learn him eventually, but he looks really cool because he's Bane. Like he's Bane. You know what I mean? He's Bane, and plus he looks really, really dope in this game. So just do that for the first part, as that's my first thing, okay? And now we'll talk about the types of characters, and this is how you're gonna find out what you prefer in this fighting game, and then what you prefer in future fighting games if you choose to play newer releases, or if you play other releases, or whatever, older releases. So now we're gonna go over the types of characters. My first type that I want to talk about is like the brawler / rushdown characters. Now these characters are defined by the characters that their area of expertise is just right in your face. It's just all close range, mid to close range for the most part, but it's mostly close range stuff. When they get in your face, when they get in your grill, dude, they're gonna get in your grill. They're gonna open you up. They're gonna hit you with like really good mix-ups that go overhead. They go low. They generally, they're pretty quick up close for the most part, and they just have these really hard-hitting moves. Once they get in, they hit you hard, and when they hit you, man, you're gonna pay for it. They're gonna make you pay for it. Characters like that are gonna be like Cheetah. You know, Cheetah, the thing is with these characters, they're usually only good up close, so they don't have a lot of projectiles or these like options from full screen or even like mid screen. You know what I mean? They really gotta get in close to do what they do best. So characters like that, I would say, are Cheetah, Gorilla Grodd. I think he has some sort of projectile invincibility, I believe, but I don't think he has any projectiles per se. So yeah, once these guys get in, they're gonna hurt you. Bane is one of those guys too. Once he gets in, dude, that's trouble. It's nothing but trouble. Who else would be like just a straight up in your face kind of? Oh, the Flash. He doesn't have any projectiles, but he's really quick. Once he gets in there, he's gonna mix you up. He even has a trait that slows down time, and if he does that, dude, you're in trouble because he can get some really, really good damage. Black Canary doesn't have a projectile. She just has her Canary Cry trait, which goes full screen, and it leads to a free setup. So, and that's dangerous. And she has a lot of resets too. So yeah, those are like the brawler rushdown characters. You know, if you like to just keep the constant pressure on your opponent, you want to mix them up all day, get them in the booth, you know, just bang them on the wall, on the table, wherever you want. Just bang them up, man. So those are the brawler rushdown characters. Now we'll talk about the zoner characters. The zoner type characters are characters that are pretty much the opposite of what I just said. So up close, they're most likely going to get beat up by somebody who's really skilled, or by somebody who's at least halfway decent with like a like a rushdown or like kind of brawler character. And characters like that, they usually use projectiles to keep them away. They keep opponent in a certain zone that they want, and they usually have lots and lots of different tools and moves to keep them, you know, at a distance and to play their game. And characters like that would be Deadshot, of course, because he has tons and tons of just guns and bullets and all kinds of shit that gets on people's nerves, man. And if you don't know how to deal with them properly or get in, it's going to be some trouble. So Deadshot's one of those zoner characters. Who else is a zoner character? Captain Cold is pretty much a zoner character. He has like, well, he's a bit of a hybrid. I'll explain what that is later, but it has some zoning options. Stuff to keep you from far away, stuff that hits you high, or stuff that hits you from overhead, stuff that hits you from far away, mid-screen, stuff that hits you low, and he has stuff like that. So he's one of those. Darkseid is another one of those hybrid characters, but his zoning options are ridiculous, dude. This guy can cover pretty much the entire screen with his Omega beams. It's a very scary thing, and not only that, he has a teleport too. So if you get close to him, all he has to do is pretty much like, I mean, he can teleport. It won't take him like for the other side of the screen. It'll take him to the other side of you, but he has a teleport. So that means cornering him is going to be a bit tough, you know, if you're fighting against someone who's skilled. Firestorm has some pretty good zoning stuff too. Dr. Fate is like the zoning guy other than Deadshot in this game. So Dr. Fate, zoner 2. I would say Green Arrow a little bit. He has some pretty good zoning options and stuff like that. So characters like that, you know, Green Lantern has a few zoning tools. So those are the zoners, okay? Now I don't really like to play zoning characters. That's boring. I want to get all up in the booth, man. I just want to go toe to toe, dirty box. That's me, okay? So we talked about the brawlers, the rushdown guys, talked about the zoners. Let's talk about the grapplers, the grappling characters, the wrestling characters. Think of a character like Zangief from Street Fighter, from the Street Fighter series. You know, he doesn't have a lot of moves, like a big, diverse set of moves, but he has these extremely strong, just what they call command grabs. They're different from normal grabs or normal throws, whatever you want to call them. Because with the normal throw, you can just push a button, or you push 1 and 3, and it does the grab, right? A forward grab or a back grab, whichever way you want it to go. Now with the command grab, it's like a special move. You have to input a direction and then press a button, and then he grabs. And it's a grab that you cannot escape from, so you can't tech it like you can a normal grab, okay? That's a command grab, and these command grabs are dangerous if you do not see them coming. You could even combo into them, which makes them even more dangerous. This guy right here is the main example, is Bane. He is like, he's a little bit of a hybrid. He's like brawler rushdown. You know, he has good options up in your face, and then he can just kind of throw you off with an unblockable, they're unblockable and untechable command grab. And if you meter burn him, they lead to combos. They're combo starters. So it's a dangerous thing. I'm trying to think of who else has some command grabs. I think Swamp Thing has a few command grabs. He could even do some command grabs and grapples from like full screen. It's pretty scary, so that's pretty dangerous. I think Gorilla Grodd might have some. I don't know his move list, but he looks like he might have some of those command grabs and stuff. But I think for the most part, those are like the only characters that really have command grabs. I know Cyborg has one command grab. Superman doesn't have any command grabs, so yeah, like those would be the like the grappler characters. Like they do some cool wrestling stuff, you know. That's a grappler, and if you like that kind of style, you can go for it. Sort of like Snake Eyes from you know, he's a player who plays Zangief from Street Fighter, so you know, he's a grappler guy. So that's the grapplers, okay? Now let's talk about the balanced characters, okay? Now they're the well-rounded characters. Those guys would be something like Superman or Batman or Green Lantern or Aquaman. I would say Black Adam and Darkseid. Those are like pretty much the top tier characters that people like to dub them. And tier lists are only based off of results. You know, it's just data collection. That's all it is, to see which characters get the most wins. You know, using what play style, whatever. But for the most part, these guys have a little bit of everything in their tools and their tool set. So they have some zoning options. They can cover the ground. They can cover the air. They have some really good mix-ups, you know, overhead, low, stuff like that. Some really good armored moves and really good wake-ups. They can pretty much just do everything in almost any situation. They're not invincible, and they're by far they're not the best character. You know, you make the character. You know, you do what you want with the character to make them as good as you want to be. But yeah, like Batman is a very good example of the well-balanced characters. He has really, really awesome mix-ups. Stuff that hits you overhead, stuff that hits you low, stuff that goes from overhead to low in one combo. He has batarangs that cover mid-screen. He has batarangs that go up. He has a double jump. He has a parry that can counter your hits. He has anti-air options. He has a zip gun that can hit you full screen. Like, he has a zip gun that can get you out of the air. This guy has like everything. So he's a really, really good, well-balanced character. Green Lantern too. He has stuff that hits you low, mid-screen, really fast, like this light beam attack. Really good stuff. Okay. Same with Darkseid. Darkseid is really, really just strong and overpowered. This guy's the real deal. Okay. This guy Darkseid. So those are well-balanced characters. And then sometimes there's, it depends on the game, like there's trap characters too. So a trap character would be something like Captain Cold. He falls in the zoning category too, but he's like a hybrid. Like I said, there are some hybrids. There are guys who are mixed up. Like Bane is like a brawler grappler. Captain Cold would be like a trap character / zoner. And so would Dr. Fate. Dr. Fate would be like a trap character / zoner. You know what I mean? They keep you at bay with their zoning stuff, but also if you get a little close to them, they can set a trap for you, and usually freezes you in place and gives them a free hit or something like that. Okay, and some of the other characters I didn't mention, they're mostly hybrids and stuff. So something like Blue Beetle. He's like somewhere middle ground between, like, I would say he has like kind of a rushdown style, but he also has a couple of zoning options too. But he's not like one or the other. He's just somewhere in between that. So Blue Beetle would be somewhere in there. Catwoman would be something like, see, she's weird because she covers a lot of distance, a lot of ground with her whip, but it's not like a projectile. She doesn't have any projectiles at all, actually, but she can pretty much like control the full screen area because she does have an attack where she zooms full screen, and it's armored too, so it's scary. So she's like a weird, definitely a mix-up, like a brawler rushdown character, but at the same time she makes you respect the full screen game too. Red Hood, he has some really good mix-ups up close, but he also has some really good zoning stuff as well. So it's just a matter of going into just playing the game. Like I said, start with single player stuff, play the single player, play a couple of the characters, see how you like them, take them into training mode, discover like, oh, I like the characters that fight up close, or I really like the characters that keep them away, like Dr. Fate and Deadshot, you know, or I really like the hybrid characters, the characters that kind of have a little bit of this, a little bit of that, or you're like, oh, I like the really well-balanced characters, you know, like something like Superman or Batman, the guys that can do everything in almost any position they're put in. And just go from there. Go to training mode. Just try them out, and then see how you like it. And then that's how you'll figure out after trying all the characters, which characters that really suit your style. Okay? So that's all I want to cover with the characters and selecting which character works for you. Like I said, just because you're a Superman fan doesn't mean Superman is going to work out for you. You might not like his moves. They may not look cool to you. He may not just be fun. Like I said, you want a character that's going to make you have fun with the game, a character that you love playing, a character you're just like, wow, like I really just enjoy playing with this character. Okay? And then, like I said, this may or may not be the last video before EVO. I might try to squeeze in one more online Injustice 2 video for you guys. And then we're going to go to Vegas. And then I will be recording my adventures out there. So I definitely want to do a little like vlogging and stuff like that. And then hopefully I can show you guys the footage of me and Dallas Sign from the tournament. I want to show you guys. It'll be fun, man. It'll be fun. It'll be interesting. But yeah, I hope this was helpful for you to figure out like what works for you, what doesn't work for you. And then the next Injustice League video I will make, I will cover how to explore the character and how to tell if like, you know, this is the guy for you. We'll go over the options. Like, it'll be my method of exploring a character and figuring out if I like them or not. Okay? So leave some likes, leave some comments. Do not hesitate to subscribe. And until next time, this is High Technology, and be there.